Kia ora, my darling.
Welcome
back to Okay, first of all, I think my S just really sizzled like a snake on that. Welcome back to a special edition of the Siska podcast. We have a deep dive. Now I can't.
I know. Now I think you just do really big S's.
Eek. This week we have a special deep dive podcast for you, all about something that is way more interesting than it sounds.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Prediction markets.
Boring.
Honestly,
it sounds boring.
But it's basically the idea that you can bet on everything. And people are, and they're making a shit ton of money, but it's like really bad because it's gambling.
Mm-hmm.
You can gamble on everything. Abby, you can put a bet on when you think Jesus will rise again.
Resurrect.
You can put a bet on when GTA 6 will finally come out. You can put a bet on if Taylor and Travis are going to make it. You can put a bet on literally anything.
People bet on Harry Styles and Zoe Kravitz getting engaged before June.
Wow.
And they would have made some money.
Abby being chicken.
Yes.
And the issue is, if someone was in their close friend group, they have the info. They could go put a massive bet.
That's freaky.
So we're going to get to the insider trading of it all. But first, I want to take us back to the basics and talk about what are prediction markets? What do I mean when I say you can bet on everything? So, Abby, there are two main platforms for this. Mm-hmm. One called Polymarket.
Yes.
And that is one that I think a lot of people have heard of. And one called Kalshi. And both of them, they do the exact same things. You log on, make an account, and then you just scroll through all these different things you can bet on. Like the news and politics is huge. Like, will Trump invade Iran before April 1st? Mm-hmm. 70% people have put bets on saying yes and 30% saying no. So it's basically just, a way of gamifying and gamblifying everything. Now, the people that are going to tell you that this is good are the people at the top with all the knowledge.
And the money.
Yeah. And the people that own these platforms.
Yes.
So they say that they're good because people lie on polls. So like if you're just randomly asked in the street, who do you think is going to win the election? Mm-hmm. You're going to give them an answer that just comes to you that maybe you believe or maybe you don't, just like you're just going to tick a box or say an answer.
Yep.
But when you put your money behind something that you're thinking, these people are saying it's more accurate because you're actually putting money and value behind your perspective.
Right.
So this I don't think is a very good case. Like this is like the only case for these markets really. And it's not even that good. It's basically saying people are more likely to say what they actually think when they have money on the line, which is true. You wouldn't bet on a sports person that you didn't think was actually going to perform well. So yes, in that way, perhaps it's more accurate. But also, it's not that accurate because not everyone's doing online gambling on the world.
No.
But I understand why they're saying that and trying to turn it into a
trying to find any positive.
Well, that's exactly what it is. So I've got some evidence of this working that I'm going to give to you. So in 2024, during the US election, every major poll was saying it was a real toss-up between Trump and Kamala Harris, which we also felt here. Like we didn't know who was going to win, but I almost thought it might have been Kamala. Polymarket had Trump as the consistent favourite for months beforehand.
Right.
Trump then won. And so of the polls that were conducted during that time, Polymarket was the more accurate one.
Right.
And that, well, I'm not going to get into polling and why that might have been. It's just what it was. They also, on Polymarket, they called Biden's, he had this big debate that was a flop. And Polymarket sort of predicted that Biden was going to have a disastrous debate before or quicker than any other polling sort of business did. And so these are the main things that I'm seeing people calling on to say, the data is better on these gambling apps because people are actually putting their money where their mouth is, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. That's the one case that I can see widely used for them. That and day traders wanting to make money or people trying to make money.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah?
Imagine like the Trump polls.
Yeah.
Right. So for months he was winning,
Yeah.
so to speak. What if someone who was like in the middle, didn't know who they were voting for, goes onto Polymarket, see that Trump is like winning in these polls, so they bet on it too, and they vote for him?
And that is the problem.
Yeah, because then
is-
that's not like what they're saying. That's not someone's true, honest thoughts. That's just like what's going to get the money.
Well, and that's the worry with these things is that these polls, instead of being like the world event happening and the polls guessing what's going to happen, it will turn into the polls dictating what's going to happen.
That's what I was going to say.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
fucked up.
So that is exactly so. We've done the one case for them and I'm about to get into the case against them. And there's multiple. I think I'm going to go through 5 and that is a really good lead-in because it's a huge fucking problem.
Yeah.
So problem number 1, insider trading. Now, insider trading is when you have information that the general public doesn't have.
Yeah.
So, for example, if someone was going to bet on when Cisco was going to publish their next newsletter.
Yes.
And you knew that I had to write one for tomorrow because there was news that I really wanted to say. You could go on and bet it's going to be tomorrow at 5 a.m. because you know, and you could put a fuck ton of money on that.
Yeah.
And you could get paid heaps because you know, you have all that knowledge. So there has been multiple like kind of confirmed cases of insider trading on these prediction market platforms. So I'm going to give you some examples. Hours before US troops deployed to Venezuela earlier this year, a brand new Polymarket account bet on that happening on that day, walked away with $400,000. Yeah, brand new Polymarket account, someone that knew they were about to invade. Hours before the US attack on Iran, another suspicious account made $553,000 doing the same thing.
Oh my God.
An Israeli Defense Forces reservist was actually arrested and charged for using classified military information to place bets on Polymarket. So they have actually been in trouble for doing it.
Oh my God.
A video editor for Mr. Beast was suspended for 2 years because he was betting on Mr. Beast-related markets with a near-perfect success rate. So that's like you betting on Cisco markets because you know. He knew what was going to be in the videos before they would go live. And so when it would be like, the odds that Mr. Beast's next video will be this. Boom, he's going to win.
So is it illegal to be an insider trader?
It's illegal in like stock markets and trading information about businesses that could affect how much the share price is. But with this, yes, it's illegal, but I think because it's so new, they're finding it hard to regulate and like come down hard on these people. The president of El Salvador retweeted a Kalshi bet about his country's Bitcoin holdings and wrote, I could do the funniest thing right now. As in like he could manipulate the Bitcoin holdings. That is the literal president being like, I could make a fuck ton of money on Kalshi because I could see you betting. I know. And then the next problem number 2 that sort of flows on from this is that people can just make the prediction come true. So, for example, Brian Armstrong, he is the CEO of Coinbase. He was in an earnings call, like on Zoom with a bunch of people, right? Yeah. And at the same time, he was watching Polymarket bets. This was a public earnings call. He was watching bets on Polymarket say, like you'll get paid out if he says words like Bitcoin. You'll get paid out if he says words like this, blah, blah, blah. And so he then, at the very end of the earning call, rattled off this list. Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain, staking, and Web3. Because he'd been watching all these people bet that he was going to say that. So he said to everyone that he'd been watching the prediction markets and he just cashed out $84,000 worth of bets for people. By saying all those, people made money.
That is so weird. And that's not illegal at all?
It's not.
Like that's just because...
It's illegal, but it's not regulated in this new form of...
That's so weird.
So people are betting and he's like doing a professional earnings call and then he's like, oh, all these people have betted that I'm going to say these words. So boom, I'm going to say all of them. And then I can't remember who it was, but a White House staffer was holding a press briefing and they saw on Polymarket.
I remember.
Yeah, that it was going to finish at a certain time or something.
Yes, so she ran off stage.
So we're going to wrap it up right now.
Yes. And everyone was like, that was 2 seconds before the bet was going to go over to the next.
Yep.
That's so, I didn't know that was part of Polymarket because I remember that being a big thing.
People are betting on it.
That's so fucking weird.
And that leads into the next thing I want to talk about. So we've had insider trading and we've had people making these predictions come true on purpose. So the next thing is these platforms are partnering with news outlets so that news outlets can show their graphs and polls on TV and things like that. So since November 2025, both Kalshi and Polymarket have signed partnership deals with CNN, CNBC, the Wall Street Journal, and the Associated Press, other big news outlets that are legit. Kalshi is reportedly in talks with Fox.
Oh my God.
So now CNN incorporates betting odds into its coverage as if they're as if it's any other poll. And this is really interesting because I've seen arguments that the news is doing this because when, and especially boys, I'm sorry to say, bet on sports games, they're way more interested in the game because they've got money riding on it. And so it makes it way more fun for them. So
it's like a game.
The idea was that we would start watching the news more because if we've put money on it, we're way more engaged and invested. And we're going to be like, well, will Trump sign that deal? Well, I'm going to turn on the 6 o'clock news now because I've actually got money on that. So it's this,
God, that is yuck.
And understanding it is so important for young people because it's this means that and this goes back to problem number 2, people changing the news based on their predictions. So say I was a host and there was a bet on Polymarket that said CNN host Lucy Blackiston will say the word Greenland in the next in the next segment.
Yeah.
Imagine you text me and be like, I've got a huge bet on, I need some money.
Yeah,
a huge bet on you saying Greenland. I'm like, yeah, girl, blah, 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 Greenland did this. The insider trading of it all, the changing of the news of it all is all wrapped up in one.
That's gross. That just feels so unethical again.
But also, it's just again, if millions of people are betting on, what you were saying before, if they're betting on one thing and then the news sees that all this money is wanting one thing to be true, they're just going to change.
Exactly.
It's just going to change the news.
And that is so dangerous.
The coverage will be following the money.
It's are they going to just keep saying these buzzwords or following stories that they might not matter as much as breaking news or world politics, blah, blah, blah. They're following these stupid stories just because they feature on Polymarket.
So it's
what do you mean?
All wrapped up in total bullshit. And again, the fact that so many people could be friends with, say I say to you, oh yeah, I've got an interview on breakfast this morning, blah, blah, blah. Anyone could message me and be like, I really need some money loose. Can you on your breakfast interview? So there's just so many ways for insider trading to happen.
Exactly.
There's just so many ways. And it is so fucked up. Problem number 4 is the Trump dimension of all of this. So Kalshi named Donald Trump Jr. as a paid advisor for the company in January 2025.
Yeah.
Now, this is crazy because Donald Trump Jr. is going to know so many things from his father about what's happening in the world.
Yep.
And he's an advisor. So he could say to Kalshi, let's set up these bets because I know that that's going to happen.
Yuck.
It was also when some of these big early events I was talking about came out to be insider trading, people were saying well, his son is an advisor to one of these. So it could have been him even making the fake accounts. Truth Social, Trump's social media company, actually launched their own prediction market platform called Truth predict.
Oh my God.
So it's like we have
so weird.
a fucking sitting president whose son is involved in that. He's involved in this. And they both have like so much knowledge about the world that it's going to use to shape it's going to shape international relations.
That potentially shaping war.
Yeah.
Like things that happen in war.
Exactly.
Is so fucked up.
Yes. And the thing is, the people that are making the money, like, are not the every man that's jumping on there and being like, oh, I might as well bet on this. It seems fun. Let me try my $5 on this.
Yeah. It's people putting millions in it.
And it's the insiders.
And also the fact that even war stuff is even allowed to be bet on feels so disgusting because these are like these are whole lives, people's lives. They're full dying in these war fields, and there's rich men in America or wherever, all over the world. But like,
and presidents being like, I could do the funniest thing right now and start a war.
Yes, and they're just making money off people's deaths, basically.
And it's so funny because you and I keep talking about like, is this illegal? Is this legal? Is this allowed? This shouldn't be allowed. It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter because they're making money, so they're going to do it anyway.
It's happening anyway. Well, they're making probably so much money that if they got fined.
I was going to say, they can pay the fine. Like, is it Jeff Bezos is that big high... he has a hedge that's like way too high. It's like, I think it's Jeff Bezos, really, really high fence around his property, and it's not allowed. It's fully legal, but he just pays the fee every year. So it's just that idea. It's like of like rich people, they can do whatever they want.
There is no deterrent for them. There is no, the punishment does not fit the crime. I know.
That's so fucked up.
The final problem there's actually more, but the final problem that I thought of just for while we're doing it, explain it, is just the rise of gambling. It's just like we are living through such a cost of living crisis that people are looking for any way to make money, and particularly in America, gambling and sports betting, actually in New Zealand as well.
It's really bad here,
is like there's no friction anymore. You don't have to go down to a pub or your local TAB or whatever. You're on your phone.
It's on an app.
And it's something that I've not really spent much time researching or looking at because usually it's like with sports and I don't really give a shit about sports. And my brothers have never really been into that, but I remember going to like friends' houses and their boyfriends and all the other boys would be like sitting in front of the TV all on their phones. And I'd be like, what are you doing? They're like, well, I've got money that blah, blah's going to do this and blah, blah's going to do that. And now it's like the idea that we can bet on every single thing with the idea that we're going to be able to make a living off of it.
And if it's like the news, like our mainstream media is normalizing this gambling for people to do at home, the people down the bottom are the ones affected most who are going to put them, because it's like if it becomes so normalised, even more than it already is.
I know, and because it is, because look at all the news outlets that have partnered.
So fucked up.
I know, like I understand there needing to be a better way to do polling because there have been a few years, particularly in America, where the polling hasn't lined up with the results. Right. So like predictions have been hard to make, and then we've had Donald Trump twice.
Right, yeah.
But I can't get my head around the idea that the best way to get better polls is by making the people often from lower income families put their money where their mouth is and then lose their money.
I know. They shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, no. And so, yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like, when people thought they were really going to get rich off of crypto and things like that and flash in the pan vibes. But I don't know, this one, it feels like, again, because it's like mystifying to a lot of us.
And because gambling is a full-on addiction.
Yes.
That people have to go to rehab for. Like, and then rehab you have to pay for. Like, it's just like a whole system. It's a whole mental health issue. And they're just like making it gamified even more and more mainstream and more like, come on, like you can do it on literally anything. It's just fun and harmless. Like,
it's like, no, it's if you have the type of personality or if you're in such a hard place that this feels like your only option.
Exactly.
It's just asking you to become addicted. Yeah, it's a
sad
health issue, societal issue, and like a wealth gap issue.
Yeah.
And inside of fucking trading, it's an informational...
That's gross.
Yeah, I know. And so that's why when like we see headlines about like Polymarket or Kalshi or whatever, it's like not such a frivolous thing. It's not like a frivolous thing that people are like, oh my God, you can bet on whether Jesus is going to come alive again. It's like, no, actually there are people at the top that know information making $500,000 a pop by.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
So yes, everyone, that is our explainer on prediction markets, and I hope that it did become more interesting than the name prediction markets sort of assumes it's going to be.
I hope it deterred you from falling victim to such a fucked up system.
Yeah.
Once again made by the men at the top.
Literally.
And advertised to us.
Normal people.
Yeah.
So stay away from gambling, please, kids. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.